going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. If that intro did not fire you up, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not want to run through a brick wall after that absolute hype video, I don't know what else to tell you. If you can't tell from the intro, this video is going to be about Justin Houston potentially coming back to the red and gold. Absolutely phenomenal, absolutely exciting, and honestly, these are just rumors. This is just speculation, but I'm beyond excited to talk to you about this because I really want to see what you guys think, what your thoughts are. Does Justin Houston still have some in the tank? He obviously signed a 2-year deal with the Indianapolis Colts after the Chiefs, and he still pretty much brought it. Was he healthy? Some questions like that along the way obviously are going to be touched in this video. But ladies and gentlemen, I am beyond excited to talk about Justin Houston potentially coming back to the Kansas City Chiefs and what else can he provide besides play on the football field. So if you're interested in this Justin Houston video, I suggest you stay tuned right after this. But before we start talking about Justin Houston and we start talking about his phenomenal year of 22 sacks, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below. Ladies and gentlemen, this helps out way more than you know. And now it's time to get into the video. Let's go. You know, in all honesty, when you look back at when Justin Houston was originally drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs in the 3rd round out of Georgia, you know, we didn't really know exactly what we were getting. We were kind of expecting, obviously, a well-rounded, a good defender, and one that can obviously get some sacks. But did we know that we were going to get a, player that was going to put up 22 sacks, be an all-pro, and just do phenomenal things? He definitely earned himself a contract, and he did some amazing things from a veteran leadership perspective in that locker room. He obviously had Eric Berry. He had Tamba Ali. I mean, that defense at times was loaded with, potential, with a lot of good leadership, and really, they did some amazing things. Unfortunately, Justin Houston wasn't with us when we were able to win a Super Bowl, but that's just how some things go at some times. What I'm going to do is dive in on an article that was written by Fansided, and I really think that this sums up and really talks about some of the important details of Justin Houston from his time in Kansas City until now, and can he potentially fit back into the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to dive into this article. I'm going to dissect it. I'm going to give you my own perspective from it. So let's do that. It says KC Chiefs should re-sign Justin Houston for 2021 season. This was written by Lee, and it was written about 2 months ago, so obviously a very significant piece since that point. Justin Houston is a free agent, and maybe a reunion with the KC Chiefs is in the cards. Once upon a time, the 3rd round pick, Justin Houston was the most feared defender on the Kansas City Chiefs roster. He had 22 sacks in 2014. Unbelievable season. Unbelievable season. It was incredible to watch as a fan and a Kansas City Chiefs fan. It was just incredible. So later he signed a massive 6-year deal worth over $100 million. At the time, I do feel coming off of a season like that, Justin Houston definitely earned his money. It says Houston struggled to stay healthy after inking that contract that made it easy to part ways with him following the 2018 season. And unfortunately, as a fan as well, you get to see that side of it. Obviously, Justin Houston did not replicate the 22 sack season, and he did not stay healthy. So when it came time to really be able to part ways, that did occur in 2018. That offseason, Brett Veach released some of the biggest names on the defensive side of the ball, but Houston was the biggest of that bunch. Obviously, my favorite player to wear the Chiefs uniform is Eric Berry. I'm actually wearing his jersey right now. He was actually cut that year as well. Following his release, Houston signed a 2-year deal with the Colts, whose general manager was familiar with a linebacker while in Kansas City. That is absolutely tremendous. He did go to the Indianapolis Colts and really did some amazing things there. It said Houston thrived in Indianapolis and started all 16 games both seasons, something he hadn't done since that 22 sack season in 2014. So I do think he had some fire. I do think he had some motivation. He was let go, and he needed to prove that he still had it and he had the juice. He definitely had that for 16 games both seasons. Houston proved that even a 32-year-old, he still had plenty left in the tank. He also showed that he can remain healthy through the course of an entire season, which was the biggest knock on him prior to signing with the Colts. It says the Kansas City Chiefs need a pass rusher, and Justin Houston coming back makes a lot of sense. I could not agree more. And my personal thoughts before I dive into this are the fact that Justin Houston would not need to play every single down. We do have a little bit of depth at the defensive end position. It's nothing significant, and there definitely needs to be another signing, whether it is Justin Houston, maybe a Melvin Ingram, or somebody else. This does need to be addressed, but there is some depth that is there. What I do think Justin Houston can provide this Chiefs defensive line is actually leadership, is a work ethic, and really show how you carry yourself as a professional NFL football player. So that is something I think that he could provide a Mike Dana. He could talk to, a few of the up-and-coming players that may not have been there, while Justin Houston was there. Maybe him and Chris Jones realign and do some amazing things. You got Frank Clark on the other side of the football. There's just so many different people that Justin Houston could really have an impact on, and I think that would be significant. So let's see what this article had to continue to say. It says, bringing Houston in might be easier said than done, but at this stage of his career, if he's looking to land a ring, the Chiefs are the best landing spot for the former third-round linebacker out of Georgia. The Chiefs won a Super Bowl less than a year after releasing Houston, and that has to hurt. It really does. But he has a chance to right the ship, come back to the franchise that drafted him, and help him win another title, or help them win another title, while he's also winning himself a ring. So it continues to say, and this is kind of talking about really what occurred while he was with the Indianapolis Colts. It says Houston had 19 sacks in 2 seasons with the Colts, showing he still has the ability to go and get after the quarterback. He joined the likes of Chris Jones and Frank Clark in Kansas City and would be a massive upgrade to this pass rushing unit, which has been very spotty as of late. I would have to agree with that 100%. Honestly, I think it's extremely, extremely difficult to see, where sacks are coming from on a consistent basis outside of Chris Jones. And Chris Jones lines up a lot of the time, actually most of the time, at a D-tackle position. So, we need more pass rush on the quarterbacks. They don't need more time back there. We need to get to the quarterback. It's no secret that it says that the Chiefs don't have a ton of cash to play with this offseason, and they've especially invested a lot into their defensive line. Obviously, Chris Jones, and there's some other players as well. If, however, Houston is looking to ring chase, it says to close out his career, he might be willing to sign for less money than normal, which would be the hope here. Justin Houston is still very, very good at football. He's a very good football player and would have a chance to win a Super Bowl in Kansas City. The question is, will he come back? I appreciate you swinging by and checking out this video on the speculation, on the idea of Justin Houston coming back to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm excited to provide this content to you because there's going to be more along the lines of, the rumors, the speculations, the trade rumors, things like that really start to populate into this channel. This is exciting for, talking about and really having conversations about as well. I appreciate you swinging by the beat of KC. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day.